Welcome back to the React Room. I'm your boy Dom K. And today we got a special video today for y'all. An introduction to BTS Discography, Chapter 1, by the great Boracity Magazine. But before we start, I cannot lie. I want to thank every last one of you guys who came in, who commented on the last two videos, who watched the last two videos. When I put that Blackpink video out and I knew it was going to be a little different. I knew it was going to be, I was going to get some pushback or some people defending, but the amount of love and support you guys have shown me, especially the BTS, I cannot thank you guys enough. A lot of people, they like to be apologists, they like to make excuses. And again, if I ever did something in the past, or if I said something to offend someone, bro, there's nothing wrong with coming out and saying I'm sorry and I made a mistake. If I said something in the past to offend anybody and they come to me and say, yo, you offended, okay, I'm sorry, I apologize. I should have known better, my bad. It's that easy. And to see the amount of support you guys have given me, man, I can't thank you enough. You guys have been lighting up the comment section with the last two videos, the Blackpink video and also the video we posted yesterday. Man, it was just great to see the amount of support we get. I told you, we care about the day one fans, the people who've been here since day one, the people who comment every week. And trust me, I see all your comments. I see it. And shout out to my girl who always comment on everything. She always put up, I'll put the popcorn up ready to see what you was gonna react to. I wanna thank you. I always see your comments. I might not reply to all of them because I'm not in charge of the social media like my team is. The reason I try to stay away from social media is because I don't want to get into it with people. I don't want to say something that I'm gonna regret. And I get it, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but I read all of the comments, I listen to them, I'll reply every now and then when the team lets me. But I just think we made a decision as a channel. It's just better if I just look at the comments and let our team reply in a professional manner. But I do see all of you guys. I do see the day ones, and trust me, don't think I don't see. I see everything. I know the people who are out there, and I know the people who not out there, so it's all good. But with that being said, the discography. The thing about discographies are they can be tricky. A lot of people might have a lot of good singles, but terrible albums. A lot of people might have terrible albums and not a lot of, terrible singles and not a lot of good albums, but they have good albums and not a lot of good singles. So in BTS's case, I've never really dived into the albums because it's so much music, it's so many videos, it's so much content. It's just hard to get into everything. And like I said, I've done so much music and there's still a ton more music to go that I'm gonna get into. But this is Sunday, and like I promised, this is probably gonna be, I'm gonna probably have two more guides, Sunday and Monday. And then Tuesday, I'm gonna start lyrical breakdowns where I don't actually play the music. We clip it and show you, and then I go through each song and break down lyric by lyric. So what we'll do is we'll start releasing, just to keep guys refreshed, we'll release 2 videos a day, maybe, either 2 or 1. I haven't decided yet. And I know the first 2 episodes of lyrical breakdown will be Spring Day and Black Swan, some of the most lyrical content they have. And I wanted to start off with those 2 because people always tell me about those lyrics. So I haven't decided, because I know I reacted to Black Swan. I don't think I ever reacted to Spring Day. So what I might do is, I might do Spring Day and all of the dance practices together and try to go through Black Swan and put that in one video just to refresh people. And then I'll do a lyrical breakdown of those, the same one. So I'll probably release 2 videos. Now, obviously I can't do that every time, but because I've never reacted to Spring Day, I think I'll do an updated version of Spring Day and Black Swan together as a reaction, and then I'll move into the lyrical breakdown of that. And then from that point on, for the rest of the week, I'll just go into lyrical breakdowns. I told you my channel is not the typical channel. We're gonna do things differently. We're gonna do things that other channels don't do. Like, for instance, we've done a whole week of guides, and then you see I throw a little illicit in there, I'll throw a little pentatonics in there, I'm gonna get to twice. Again, I wanna show everybody love. I wanna get to all the different parts of K-pop and J-pop and all the other stuff. And I saw Baby Metal in Japan just came out with a new single. I'm gonna get to that too. I just try to get to a bunch of different music, but at the same time, I know what my bread and butter lies. It relies with the army, it relies with the fans, it relies with the people who on this channel who, come here and want to see good content. And when other people want to see more stuff and they start supporting the way that the army supports, they'll get the content they want. So with that being said, and shout out to XG for the In the Rain video. You see, I like that. I put that up. I got a quick reaction out to that. And like I said, man, we just gonna keep grinding. We're gonna keep doing our thing and we're gonna keep pushing. We're not gonna let haters stop. We're not gonna let the shadow ban stop. I saw a comment where a fan was like, yo, I know you're not lying about your channel being shadow banned because he saw our views have been going down. And he was like, every time I search BTS music, it shows me other K-pop music and I don't even listen to that and it's messing up my algorithm. Well, I wanna respond to that commenter, just so you know, that's the coalition. The coalition doesn't wanna see black people like me react to K-pop music. It's just that simple. I'm just being honest, they don't. If you look at all of the top K-pop, and I hate to bring race into it, but it's like, they feel like I should be doing rap more and they feel like I should be doing R&B more. Because again, trust me, I know how this goes. When they see someone from the US doing this type of stuff, see, if you're from the UK, it's cool. If you're from Australia, it's cool. If you're from Europe, it's cool. But if you're a black man from America, oh no, how dare you listen to BTS? How dare you listen to Blackpink? How dare you listen to XG? How dare you listen to Stray Kids? How dare you support K-pop? Like, I don't like all of the music. Like, look, y'all see Lil Wayne up there. Y'all see Drake up there. Come on now. Y'all know I got Nipsey Hussle in the corner over here. Y'all know how I feel about hip hop. Y'all know I love me some Nicki Minaj. I love me some Lotto. Y'all know that. But that's just what they do in the algorithms. But guess what? We don't give a damn because I'm going to do what I want to do. They don't run me and they don't run this channel and they don't run you guys. So at the end of the day, we're going to do what we do. And like I said, we're going to get into the discography. This is a long video. I'm going to probably stop it like 4 or 5 times. I'm going to try to get through it. But it's a good informative video from what I heard about the entire discography of BTS albums. And I need to know this anyway because there's a lot of music on these albums that I haven't seen or done. And I'm gonna get into that as well. So with that being said, no further ado, remember, like, share, comment, hit the subscribe button if you want. And guess what? Like other channels, if you don't hit the button. It's all good. Thank you for showing up anyway.
There are many great introduction videos to BTS out there, but most of them introduce the members' journey, achievements, and personalities. This is very important information for new fans to know, but in this video, I will introduce you to their most important contribution, their discography. BTS's discography can be a little confusing to understand because it doesn't work like most Western discographies or even K-pop discographies. They have official songs, unofficial songs, tracks that are technically not songs, compilation albums, solo songs that are BTS's songs, solo songs that are not BTS songs, Korean albums, Japanese albums, English singles, and so much more. So I'll try to explain all of that. If you're already an ARMY, I hope this guide can help you understand the timeline of BTS's discography and maybe even discover some songs you haven't listened to before. And if you're not a fan, I hope this guide can help you understand the basics of BTS's discography and eras and find the songs with the genres you like the most. I won't spoil the songs for you. I will just quickly hint how they sound and what the themes are, so you can discover by yourself if it's something you're interested in. To start, BTS's music is currently in what they call a Chapter 2, which includes a variety of solo projects all promoted as BTS's projects, as well as new BTS songs with all the members. But since Chapter 2 just started and is still ongoing, in this video I will only talk about Chapter 1 because it's still so extensive that even fans can miss some of it. So this is BTS's story explained only through their music. BTS officially debuted in 2013, but it all started in 2007. Namjoon, who later became the first member and the leader of BTS, started sharing his rapping and songwriting on online platforms around the age of 14. The oldest songs people could find of him were under the name Ranch Randa, and they go back to 2008. Later this year, Namjoon, who we know today as RM, started using the name Largo alongside Ranch Randa to unofficially share his songs. Participating mostly in collaborations, he mainly used samples of famous hip-hop songs to write his own Korean raps. He then performed these songs with other underground rappers. The majority of them disappeared from the rap world, but some became well-known rappers in South Korea years after. RM worked with the rappers Changmo, who back then was called Loop, Supreme Boy, who was called Suprema, Zico, who was called Naxo, and Ugly Duck, who kept his name. In 2009, RM continued being part of collaborations, now mostly under the name Randa. This was a time when RM gained popularity in the South Korean underground rap scene, especially after the release of the 2009's second 94 Liners group rap. Along with other rappers, RM became part of the rap crew DNH. These songs from 2008 and 2009 were recognized by the rapper Sleepy, who told his friend and Big Hit producer P-Dog to check out the music of a talented underground rapper who was still in high school. After meeting RM, Big Hit decided to form a hip-hop group with RM in its center. This group was Bulletproof Boys, which they abbreviated as BPB. BPB had 3 rappers, RM, Iron, and Supreme Boy. As BPB, RM released Dreaming and 17 Part 1, and with the other members, BPB released Hook Gayo, Ashes, and We Are BPB. Although BPB did not have an official debut, they featured on Love You Hate You by 2am. This song is technically RM's first official song representing BTS. All the songs I've talked about before this one can only be listened to because of re-uploads, but you can listen to Love You Hate You in every streaming platform since it's officially credited to BTS. Later this year, Big Hit had a rap competition in which contestants had to use one of 4 tracks, 2 produced by RM and 2 produced by Iron. A 17-year-old named Yoongi decided to use RM's 17 track to audition, and he won the first online round. At the rap battle final, Yoongi landed in 2nd place with the songs Swagger and This. Although only the 1st place was promised a spot in Big Hit, Yoongi was invited to also join Big Hit and recorded 2 songs he performed in the competition. In 2011, RM, still representing BPB, was featured in the pop song Bad Girl, which is still accessible on SoundCloud and YouTube, and the ballad Because I'm a Foolish Woman, which is accessible in every streaming platform. Additionally, RM unofficially released Glory as himself, enrolling with his previous rap crew DNH. During this time, there were many changes in the BPB lineup. Big Hit discovered the street dancer Jungkook and decided to make Yoongi, who we know today as Suga, and Hoseok, who we know today as JHope, become part of the group alongside RM and the other 2 rappers. Up until this point, the group was clearly intended to be a hip-hop rap group, but Big Hit thought about transforming BPB into a hip-hop idol group with a rap line and a vocal line. The guy who won the rap competition against Suga was eventually not a fit for the group. The previous 2 BPB rappers were also not a fit for the group. The official lineup was RM, Suga, and JHope, but among the many trainees competing to be part of the group either as rappers or singers were Jin, who was street casted, and Jungkook, who wasn't selected for a TV singing competition but was called by 7 music agencies. Jungkook decided to join the small agency Big Hit because of RM's talent. This new RM, Suga, JHope lineup was abbreviated as BTS, standing for Bangtansoneondan, which is Bulletproof Boy Scouts in Korean. This technically new group unofficially released the original song Satori Rap, which became a characteristic style for BTS's future songs. After this song, Taehyung, who we know today as V, joined Jin and Jungkook in the trainees lineup. RM and JHope, representing BTS, featured in Lee Seung-gi's ballad The Song That Will Make You Smile, which he officially released in 2020 in every streaming platform and credited RM and JHope as BTS. In 2012, only a year before BTS's official debut, a lot happens. Many trainees leave and a new trainee named Jimin joins. This makes the BTS lineup 8 members, but one of them eventually leaves, making the group a 7-member group, 3 rappers, 4 vocalists. Around this time, Aaron composes more music than ever, and 2 events happen. Suga gets into a car accident, critically injuring his shoulder, and JHope leaves BTS. I'm mentioning these 2 events because they are reflected in BTS's discography. Suga's injury becomes the subject for some of his future songs. About JHope leaving the group, we don't exactly know why this happened, but he mentioned how hard it was for him to live far away from his family. In the the end, Jungkook convinced JHope to stay, and RM convinced Big Hit to fight for JHope since he was a vital part of BTS. So as soon as JHope is back, he is a featured artist in the Jungkook song Animal, and he becomes the first BTS member to perform on a K-pop TV show. With the 7 members we know today, BTS releases 2 adaptations of hip-hop songs with unofficial videos, A Typical Chinese Christmas and Let's Introduce Bangtan Room. Only 6 months before their debut, BTS unofficially releases multiple songs to gain people's attention, including adaptations of songs by DJ Khaled, Kendrick Lamar, Marcus Houston, JHope, and the most popular pre-debut BTS song, Graduation Song, which samples Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa's Young, Wild and Free. BTS continues releasing unofficial.
Yo, man. This is a lot. What? Man, I didn't. Yo. So let me get this straight. It was RM, and then they slowly added more and more members, got rid of several members, replaced other members left and came back. JHope left and came back. Suga got into a car wreck. What? All of this is from 2008 to this is 5 years. All of this happened in 5 years. Look at all of these songs. Like a Star, RM, Jungkook, Rap Monster, Freestyle, RM, Graduation Song, BTS, JHope, Jimin, Jungkook. Yo, man, this is crazy. How much music does these guys have? And it's crazy because, okay, so BTS was officially with just RM. So he released songs with just him and the other 2 guys, and that was BTS too? Hey, man. Okay, this is like a movie. This ain't no discography. This is a movie. Let's get to it. It's a movie.
Official songs and freestyles sampling tracks by Nicki Minaj, Common, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, and T.I. BTS teased their official debut on May of 2013 with a debut trailer which was later called Intro Too Cool for School, and then officially made their debut with the album Too Cool for School on June 12 of 2013. This is how BTS albums tend to work in Chapter 1. They release 2 or 3 mini albums and then a full studio album. These 2 or 3 albums that have the same theme are part of an era or a trilogy. The mini albums can either be a single album or an EP, which have 2 to 5 songs. BTS's first album is a single album because it technically has only 3 songs. This is common in BTS's first albums. There is an intro, an interlude, an outro, and a skit. A skit is not a song. It's usually a conversation between the BTS members that reflects the story of the album. Since these albums tell the members' thoughts and experiences, the skits show BTS's story and milestones. Additionally, some albums have hidden songs, which you can only listen to on the physical CD. Each album has a title track, which is the main single they are promoting that comes with a music video, and a follow-up promoted track, which is the second single or song that may or may not have a music video, but that they will perform on TV shows. In K-pop terms, it's a promoted B-side, and in Western music terms, it's a follow-up. So with that in mind, let's see the story of BTS's first album. Too Cool for School is the beginning of what is known today as the School Trilogy. All of the songs from this era are either hip-hop, R&B, or a fusion of both genres. The first song, We Are Bulletproof Part 2, is a continuation of We Are BPB, with the all lineup. In this song, BTS reaffirms their story of how they became a group, how despite being young, they had strong music ambitions. This is what made them bulletproof. In skit Circle Room Talk, they introduced the theme of the album. After graduating, do they want an office job or follow their music dreams? This is a transition to No More Dream, the album's title track and promoted single. Its main theme was, of course, young people's dreams or lack of dreams and passion. Interlude is an instrumental transition from BTS's heavy rap side to their R&B side. The first R&B track is Like, a song about high school romance and social media. And outro Circle Room Cypher is a fun skit in which BTS jokingly rap battles each other. The last 2 tracks are hidden tracks, which means that they are only part of the physical CDs. Path, also known as Road, tells their feelings during the years when the group was coming together and wondering what will be the end of the road. These concerns are expanded in RM's spoken poem Skit on the Start Line. All of these albums' lyrics were composed by the rap line. After this, BTS explained their passion to perform in the unofficial song Born Singer, which samples J. Cole's Born Sinner, and it becomes one of BTS's most important songs in their careers. BTS's second official project is the EP Oh Are You Late To, which starts with a hip-hop intro performed by RM. The title track and lead single is N.O., a protest on how the South Korean education system turns students into studying machines. Because BTS debuted as a hip-hop idol group, RM and Suga received backlash from the underground rap scene they were once part of. Their first response to the criticism was the hip-hop track We On, in which they affirmed that they will not pay attention to the hate. An example of their determination is clear in Skit Are You Happy Now, an audio recorded at 6 a.m. of the members discussing their music path. This is a transition to the hip-hop song If I Rule the World. The R&B track of the album is Coffee, a love song told through coffee metaphors. The next song is BTS Cypher Part 1, the first of 4 cyphers performed by the rap line. In this first one, the rappers introduce themselves as the new kids who want to show their talents to the world. Attack on Bangtan, also translated as The Rise of Bangtan, has a similar message, but it has a funkier sound. The funny thing about this song is that it jokingly predicts their future success. The BTS members announce their arrival to the music industry and wonder what will happen if BTS rises.
하지만 방탄소년단이 진격한다면 어떨까?
The next track is the rap line's pre-debut song Satori Rap, now being officially released by the 7 BTS members under the name Baldogang-sang. The last track is Outro Love in School, the first song ever performed exclusively by the vocal line, which introduces the theme of the third part of the school trilogy. But before continuing the school trilogy, BTS released 8 unofficial songs in SoundCloud and YouTube. Beautiful is one of their most popular adaptations, and it samples Mariah Carey and Miguel's Beautiful. BTS also released 2 Christmas songs, Perfect Christmas, performed by Jungkook, RM, and other big-hit artists at the time, and A Typical Idol's Christmas, an adaptation by the other 5 members not part of the first Christmas song. The last official part of the school trilogy was the 2014 EP A School Love Affair, introduced by the rap line. The album's main theme is young romance, and it has the hip-hop rock song Boy in Love as its title track. In Skit Soulmate, the BTS members ask each other what the album's theme should be, and it introduces the next 2 R&B pop tracks. Where You From, in which the boy in love meets and starts talking to someone they like, and Just One Day, in which they profess their love. The last 5 songs basically summarize the whole school trilogy themes: dreams, identity, protest, determination, and love. Representing dreams is Tomorrow, a song about following your dreams despite opposition from others. This track is an R&B hip-hop mix that works as a transition to the heavier hip-hop tracks. Representing identity is BTS Cypher Part 2 Triptych, in which the rap line wear the insults from other rappers with pride, showing that they have the abilities and bravery of underground rappers but the success of idol stars. Representing protest is Spinebreaker, a song about the way past generations made today's society obsessed with material possessions. Representing determination is Jump, which showcases their perseverance in a positive, happy light. And representing love is Outro Propose, the vocal line's R&B track about falling in love. After the release of these 3 albums part of the school trilogy, the BTS members released some unofficial songs, including 95 Graduation, also known as Graduation Part 2, performed by Jimin and V, who were...
Okay. So basically, okay. So the school trilogy is Too Cool for School, ORULA 2, and School Love Affair. So that's the trilogy. Okay, Are You Late To? Okay, Are You Late To? Too Cool for School, Are You Late To? School Love Affair, excuse me. Okay, so that's the school trilogy everybody was talking about. I have to get into that. So now they got special. Okay, so let me see how they. I just gotta make sure.
Perseverance in a positive, happy light, and representing love is outro Propose, the vocal lines R&B track about falling in love. After the release of these 3 albums, part of the school trilogy, the BTS members released some unofficial songs, including 95 Graduation, also known as Graduation Part 2, performed by Jimin and V, who were born in 1995. Soon after, BTS released a special edition of School Love Affair with the original 10 tracks and 2 new R&B tracks. Miss Right, which served as the title track, and Like, Slow Jam Remix, which is a jazzier version of their previous release song, Like. Additionally, they released the instrumentals for 6 of the album's songs. Then Namjoon unofficially releases Unpack Your Bags on SoundCloud, a hip-hop track produced by DJ Soulscape. Since Japan is the second biggest music market in the world, it's common for Korean artists to release Japanese versions of their songs. So BTS released 2 Japanese EPs that come with 2 music videos. These albums are the Japanese counterpart of the School trilogy. The first EP is No More Dream, and it has the Japanese versions of No More Dream, Attack on Bangtan, and Like. Part of their Korean discography, BTS released So For More on SoundCloud, an adaptation of Pro Era's Like Water. BTS will later release another original song titled So For More. So to differentiate them, just remember that this 2014 track is an unofficial SoundCloud song. BTS then releases their second Japanese music video, Boy in Love, part of the Boy in Love EP with the Japanese versions of Just One Day and N.O. This is the end of the School trilogy. We then enter the Dark and Wild era,
Okay,
which has...
I got a question though. So these unreleased songs. So on these unreleased songs, are they official? Or if they're not officially released, are they just like in America, you can have a song and then you can just throw it out there to the world, but then it's free for anybody to use. It's free for them to take the beat. It's free for them. Like, I'm sure they got all of this stuff copyrighted. Like, it's because I would imagine that people could just take these songs and then just remake them and then redo whatever they want. So I'm pretty sure it's theirs and they own the copyrights to them. They just never officially released them, because I can't see them just doing all of their work, putting out their music and just letting people do what they want to do with the songs. I don't know, because from what I learned yesterday, they got all of these copycats in Korea who trying to make the next BTS. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went back to all of these old songs and tried to recreate them, but I'm pretty sure they can't.
Their most ambitious project at the time, their first studio album, Dark and Wild. This era is still mainly hip-hop, but it has a rockier sound and more rebellious lyrics composed by the rap line. To promote this project, they released an album preview on SoundCloud, which remixes all of the album's songs. The intro What Am I to You, performed by RM, describes the relationship where the other person only cares about themselves. This theme is continued in the title track and lead single, Danger. I call this era transition into adulthood because it expresses all those disobedient, angry thoughts and feelings young people have before entering adulthood. As BTS puts it in the follow-up single War of Hormone, it's the internal fight of one's own hormones and the negative effects they have on young people. The first classic hip-hop song of the album is Hip Hop File, also known as Hip Hop Lover, in which they thank 13 hip-hop artists for being the inspiration for their music. Going back to the album's theme, BTS talks about a relationship's inevitable end in Let Me Know. These feelings intensify in a rainy day described in the jazz-centric Rain. BTS Cypher Part 3 Killer is probably the most popular cypher out of the 4. Like the title shows, this cypher is more aggressive and shows more determination and confidence than ever. The next track is an instrumental interlude with Jungkook's voice that serves as a transition to the pop, R&B, and alternative hip-hop songs. Could You Turn Off Your Cell Phone is pretty self-explanatory. It tells the consequences of a social media and technology obsession. Embarrassed or Blanket Kick, 24/7 Heaven, and Look Here are all pop R&B, and they are about falling in love and deciding to pursue that love. Second Grade expresses their feelings of being in the second year of their music careers. An alternative song title is So For More, a wordplay for sophomore, which is also the title for one of their unofficial SoundCloud songs I talked about before. The outro, Do You Think It Makes Sense, is
Sophomore,
performed by the Vocaloid,
sophomore.
which
Okay.
closes the album's love story in a sudden heartbreak. As always, they released a Japanese EP with Danger as the title track, an EDM remix of Attack on Bangtan, and the Japanese version of Miss Right. They also promoted an alternative hip-hop version of Danger titled Danger Mo Blue Mix, which features the Vietnamese-Australian singer Tan, who adds verses in English. Their next big project is Wake Up, BTS's first Japanese studio album. The intro is a hip-hop track that sets the tone for the album, and the first original Japanese song,
And so they dropped 5 albums in 1 year? Dark and Wild, Danger Japanese version. Well, I guess that's the same thing. Wake Up, Dark and Wild. Man, this is a lot of albums.
Stars is, in my opinion, the Japanese version of Path, not because they sound similar, but because they have the same hopeful view on ambitions and dreams. Next, they compiled new and old Japanese versions of their songs and released Like Part 2, which is their second original Japanese song. This is, of course, a continuation of Like, about romance and social media. The last 2 tracks, Wake Up and Outro, are R&B tracks that reaffirm the album's theme of taking action toward following one's dream. Before releasing the last promoted project of the Dark and Wild era, Jimin and Jungkook released Christmas Day on SoundCloud, and RM collaborated with the American rapper Warren G for the alternative
Warren G?
song PTD. To end the Dark and Wild promotions,
Hey man, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. The OG Warren G. If the OG Warren G collabs with an overseas artist, chances are you legit. And again, for the people who don't really know about the hip hop community, Warren G, one of the West Coast legends, man, his classic song, Nate Dogg and Warren G, Regulate. Hey, I gotta give RM a little respect. I gotta give him a lot more respect, man. I didn't know this, bro. Warren G, man, this is before my era. This is like the one of the OG. It's like getting Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre or Corrupt and people like that. The West Coast legends, Eazy-E, Warren G. Hey, man, that's respect, man, respect.
BTS released a Taiwanese special edition of their Korean studio album with an exclusive Chinese version of Boy in Love. In 2015, RM, who at the time performed under the name Rap Monster, released his first solo mixtape on SoundCloud titled RM. The 11 tracks have aggressive, fast-paced raps with different samples and adaptations of American hip-hop songs. The 3 promoted songs with music videos are the title track and the first single, Awakening, the second single, Do You, and the third single, Joke.
I'm not rock, I'm not funk, I'm not R&B or hip-hop. 아직도 뭔지도 모르는 애도 전부 다 파락윗바.
This mixtape tells his response to all the criticism he received for joining an idol group. RM points out that it's not wrong or disingenuous to make meaningful music designed for people to actually listen to. In the middle of the promotion of his mixtape, RM also participated in the song and music video of Buku Buku with other rappers. BTS's next era is the Youth Trilogy from 2015, in which they began telling a fictional storyline fans can put together by reading their album notes, HYYH books, the Save Me webtoon, and music videos part of the Bangtan universe, or BU. This trilogy also shows a new vulnerable side from the BTS members. The first part is the EP The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 1, also known as Hwa Yang Yong Hwa Part 1, shortened HYYH Part 1. It starts with an intro performed by Suga and visualized in the comeback trailer. The album's title track is I Need You, their first promoted pop lead single, which helped them gain their first music show win. I need you, The intro, I Need You, Hold Me Tight, and Skid Expectation explore the dichotomy between angst and optimism, love and hate, and anxiety and fearlessness experienced at the end of being a teenager and the beginning of adulthood. The follow-up single, Dope, is BTS's first dance EDM song, and it represents an adrenaline rush of the celebration of youth. Many attribute this music video at attracting the first significant wave of international fans. Boys with Fun is a catchy dance pop song that makes something clear. This fun version of them is still them. They are still tackling social issues. They are still impacting listeners with their music, but they are having fun while doing so. This is the first official song in which the vocal line joins the rap line in the composition process. Converse High is the album's love song, and it uses references to shoe brands. Because Converse is a copyrighted brand, the song's name is Lover's High for Korean TV shows. The R&B tracks are Moving On by all the members and Outro Love Is Not Over by the vocal line. These tracks talk about the feeling of nostalgia after the end of an era, the end of living in the place where they first met, lived together and practiced together. The first album is the shock of moving on, the shock of entering adulthood. These new sounds are the consequence of opening up, of being more vulnerable. This doesn't mean that they stop being them. RM continues collaborating with his rapper friends in hard-hitting hip-hop songs, but BTS are different to how they started. This is why they re-record We Are BPB as We Are Bulletproof Part 1 with the 7 BTS members we know today. For the Japanese youth era, they first released an original Japanese pop ballad titled For You, and Japanese versions of War of Hormone and Let Me Know. This year, BTS starts participating in OST projects, which are original soundtracks for series or movies. The first member to release an OST is RM for Marvel's Fantastic Four movie. RM also features in the alternative hip-hop ballad You, and Jungkook features in the ballad One Dream, One Korea. Then BTS releases their second EP, part of the Youth Trilogy, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Part 2. If Part 1 is about the shock of entering adulthood, Part 2 is about the reaction, the scary, lonely, frustrated reaction. The rap line introduces the theme of fighting against life's obstacles in Intro Nevermind. The obstacles are explained in the pop rock title track Run, which shows helplessness and longing for a connection that doesn't exist. The next two songs use animal metaphors and R&B instrumentals to express fear. Butterfly is about the fear of losing someone, and Wailing 52 uses the lonely wail to express the fear of being alone. As the BTS members reflect about their lives, they start reflecting about societies. They sing about their identities with their hometowns in My City, and the inequality and unjust privileges of inherited wealth in Silver Spoon.
Man, this is a lot. What? We just in 2015. They still got 8 years to go. Before we get to, whether it stopped in 2022, 2023, we still got 8 more years to go. Okay, quick rundown. Okay. RM has put out a lot of music. I'm gonna really have to go deep dive into, thank you, Boracity, because I'm gonna tell you this. Now when I'm doing my lyrical breakdowns, I wanna break down. This gives me an idea. I'm gonna break down rap lyrics from Suga and RM from back then to their rapping now, and show you how it's, because I obviously have to grow and progress, and I want to show the progression and show the differences and where they was, because I see they rapping about and singing about all of them stages in their life: anxiety, adulthood, the problems of being. Hey man, this is deep. They actually don't just, like most artists, they just put out whatever hot at the moment. I see they actually telling stories of their life going by year by year by year by year, and important phases and moments and things that people actually go through. Now I see, and this is another reason why people probably love their music so much. See me, I'm just a fan of how it sounds and the videos and just the actual lyrics of some of the songs I've heard. But I see that people actually, these are actually real storylines and real problems and phases and people like that. Some people turn to music when they're going through stuff like this. So I see why they got a huge following for this stuff.
With these songs, they start a new trend in their music: strong social commentary in happy, fun songs. These are pop songs or funky hip-hop songs. skit One Night in a Strange City is a conversation about their recent success. The vulnerable shift they had in the most beautiful moment in life part 1 made them tour in faraway cities like the capital of Chile, the strange city where they recorded this skit. Autumn Leaves, also known as Dead Leaves, is about a person's effort to stay the way they are when they are demanded to mature. In a way, it's about clinging to childhood and youth. This conflicting relationship one has with oneself and others is unstable and addictive, and it's predicted to collapse in House of Cards. The second Japanese youth album is I Need You, with Japanese versions of I Need You, Dope, and Boys with Fun. On the side, JHope releases his first solo composition, One Verse, on SoundCloud, and BTS makes their first 3 songs for commercials, an original RM composition for a coffee brand, a remake of Run for the shoe brand Puma, and a collaboration with the rapper Jesse for SK Telecom. The third Japanese EP has Japanese versions of Run, Butterfly, and a new pop song titled Good Day about their strong, lifelong friendship. The third part of the Korean youth trilogy is their first compilation album, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Young Forever. This album has 2 CDs. The first CD has songs from part 1 and part 2, an alternative ballad version of Butterfly with only the vocal line, and 2 EDM singles which show 2 responses to the same struggle. Fire, a fun and catchy song showing a new level of BTS's choreography about carelessly living a troubled life. And Save Me, a tropical house electro-pop song about escaping that troubled life celebrated in
My
Fire.
favorite song of all time.
If Born Singer is BTS's first sentimental anthem, Epilogue Young Forever is the second one. This ballad is the trilogy's conclusion, a positive view about the struggles, fears, and dreams of youth. The second CD compiles more songs from Part 1 and Part 2 and has the full-length edition of the Part 2's outro, House of Cards, and Part 1's outro, Love Is Not Over, now with the 7 members instead of only the vocal line. There's also an urban remix and an electro-pop remix of I Need You, a ballad version and a dance rock version of Run, and an R&B version of Butterfly. So there's a song for every listener. Before starting their next era, BTS continues making music for commercials. This time, they release, promote, and perform a choreographed dance of Family Song with the group G-Friend for a school uniform commercial. For Festa, RM and Jungkook released the pop song I Know, and BTS releases an acoustic version of Young Forever on SoundCloud. In August of 2016, Suga releases his first solo mixtape, August D, on SoundCloud, under the name August D. The entire album is, of course, hip-hop with a hardcore rap style with underground influences, and it has August D as the first single and Give It To Me as the second single. Both of these songs are his response to the South Korean underground hip-hop scene accusing him of selling out for debuting in BTS. The intro is called DT Suga, showing that his new name stands for DT, which is his hometown Daegu town, and Suga, his name in BTS, all backwards. August D is Suga's alter ego. This is what he explains to his brother in the recorded conversation part of Skit. 724148 is about his success and beginnings. 140503 at Dawn has vulnerable lyrics over a minimal beat. The last has a stronger beat with lyrics about depression and self-hatred. Tony Montana is about ambition and envy. An interlude during reality works as an instrumental transition for So Far Away, a song about dreams. To end the Youth trilogy, BTS releases the Japanese studio album Youth, which starts with the alternative hip-hop track Introduction Youth and compiles old and new Japanese versions of the Youth trilogy. The new original Japanese song is Wishing on a Star, a happy hip-hop pop song about the future and hope. Only weeks after the end of the youth era, BTS starts the iconic Wings era. These songs will become the first projects recognized by major American award shows, giving BTS their first American award show attendance, their first American red carpet, and their first American award. So what exactly was this era about? The main project is the studio album Wings, BTS's first concept album about temptation and growth. To promote this unique concept album based in the coming-of-age novel Damien, BTS released 7 solo short films, part of the Bangtan universe, that represent the 7 solo songs that will be part of the album. This is the first time each of the 7 members had a solo song on a BTS album. The album's comeback trailer and intro track also follow the pattern from the previous full albums. RM did the intro for Dark and Wild, Suga did the intro for The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, so this time JHope did the intro for Wings, with Intro Boy Meets Evil, a dark hip-hop song which explains the story of the album, a young man encountering evil as he grows up. Once this man discovers greed, ambition, and lust, he explains this intoxication in the main single Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh God, now I told you I get
The solo
that.
songs show a unique genre for each member, and of course, each member participated in the composition process of their songs. The solos start with Jungkook's Begin, a dance pop song in which he thanks the BTS members for bringing him out of his shell. In this song, he also opens up about his weaknesses. Jimin's solo is Light, an orchestral pop song in which he shows the inner fight between his inner self and the persona the world knows. B's solo is Stigma, a neo-soul song about struggling with identity. Suga's solo song is an alternative hip-hop song about his first love, the piano he learned to play during his childhood. RM's solo is a reflection on self-love and acceptance. This is a hint of BTS's next trilogy. JHope's solo is Mama, a pop song influenced by gospel music in which he explores singing as well as his usual rapping. In this song, JHope thanks his mother for supporting him as he followed his dreams. This song connects with the album's concept by relating it to Damien's mother, Eva. Jin's solo is Awake, a ballad about the obstacles towards reaching one's dreams and inspirations. The next 2 songs are subunit songs. Lost is an electro-pop song performed by the vocal line, which basically combines the themes of all the solo songs. Lost is about feeling stuck, lost.
So they all got solo songs on one album. Jungkook, Begin, Jimin Lie, Stigma V, First Love Suga, Reflection RM, Mama JHope, Awake Jin, and they got a vocal line. Man, I'm gonna have to get into these tracks. See, this is perfect for lyrical breakdown. This is perfect for a lyrical breakdown. And then, like I said, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, so I could literally do like all 7 of these songs and Blood, Sweat, and Tears and break that down. That's crazy. And the intro. I'm gonna have to break down this whole album. This whole album look crazy. Oh man, this is crazy. I never even knew this stuff existed, man. Like I said, I knew some of these songs. Like I knew Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and I knew, that's it. I didn't know any of this other stuff. Wow.
Or confused in life. BTS Cypher 4 is the rap line's last cipher, which works as both a response to negative comments and a proclamation of self-love and confidence. This is the beginning of the hip-hop songs. Like I mentioned before, Am I Wrong is the song with strong social commentary disguised in a happy, colorful beat. It's a hip-hop song, but it has elements from country music, and it has direct criticism against South Korean politicians.
What?
21st Century Girls is also a happy song
going
about the
against
double
politicians.
standards women
Tough.
face in society. 2-3 is also about society and life, but it has a more positive view. A celebration of this positive conclusion is the dance pop song Interlude Wings. But the Wings era doesn't end here. Before releasing the next Wings project, BTS makes a song for SK Telecom commercial. Suga and JHope start performing a Japanese trot duet titled Otsukare, which will later...
I got a question. So, okay, when they make these songs for these ads, like the telecom and the other company, are these full-out songs? Or I'll give you an example. Because in America, like, if someone do a song for Sprint, or if someone do a song for T-Mobile, if someone do a song for Toyota or something like that, it's gonna be like a 30-second clipped up for a commercial, but the song might be like 1 minute with one verse. Are these full-out songs for these commercials? Because I seen they did like 2 or 3 for commercials. Are these full-out songs? Or are these just, quick little 30 seconds here, quick little 40 seconds here, quick little, You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a beat that go for a minute, or is it like a full listed out song? I'd be curious to know. You guys let me know in the comments. Are these full songs for the commercial, only the commercial ads? Are these full songs? Do they pay for a full song, or is it just like, you know, a minute?
It be performed by the 7 members. Jin releases a Christmas version of his solo song Awake. V and Jin release It's Definitely You for the Korean drama Hwarang, where V is an actor. And RM releases an unofficial solo song titled Always on SoundCloud. The second project part of Wings is You Never Walk Alone, released in 2017, a repackage of the album Wings that comes with 4 new tracks. The title track is Spring Day, a power ballad about loss and grief. The music video alludes to the tragedy of South Korea's Sewol Ferry. This song is so beloved in South Korea that it has been charting non-stop in Korean charts since its release. The album's follow-up single is Not Today, a powerful song about courage and breaking the glass ceiling. Outro Wings is an extended version of Interlude Wings, and a supplementary story, You Never Walk Alone, is an electro-pop song about staying together through hardships. This is the end of the Korean Wings era. In 2017, RM collaborates in 3 songs about social change. The hip-hop songs Change by RM featuring the American rapper Wale, Gaja by the South Korean rapper Gecko featuring RM, and the pop rock song Champion by the Korean rock band Fall Out Boy featuring RM. The official end of the Wings era is the single album Blood, Sweat and Tears, with Japanese versions of Blood, Sweat and Tears, Not Today, and Spring Day. For the 2017 Festa, RM and V composed and released the acoustic ballad 4 O'Clock, and Jin and Jungkook joined Suga in a new version of his solo song So Far Away, part of his August D discography. BTS also participated in the Soltaiji 25th anniversary remake project by releasing an adaptation of Come Back Home. This remake has a new music video, new rap lyrics, and a new pre-chorus.
It's a lot of music, family. A lot of music.
Then BTS starts the Love Yourself trilogy. These 3 albums will be their first historic trilogy, which will make them get recognized as the first group since the Beatles for getting 3 #1 albums in less than a year. This trilogy represents their journey towards self-discovery and acceptance. The first part is Love Yourself Her, about the joy and happiness of falling in love. This theme is introduced in the album's comeback trailer, Intro Serendipity by Jimin, an alternative R&B song. The title track DNA continues expressing the dreamy version of falling in love. This song was BTS's official American TV debut, performed at the 2017 American Music Awards. DNA was also BTS's first song ever to enter the biggest music chart in the world, the Billboard Hot 100 at number 85.
Yeah, it's on fire.
Best of Me, an EDM song produced by the Chainsmokers, and Dimple, an R&B song by the Vocal Line, are...
Now see, I didn't know they had a song produced by the Chainsmokers. Bro, what the hell, man? What the hell? Warren G, the Chainsmokers? Listen, man. You learn something new every day, man. Wow. And they got 3 #1 albums on the I need to hear this.
Also about falling in love, but Pied Piper shows some of the dangers of an excessive love. The rap line wrote this song with the relationship between BTS and their fans in mind. Escape Billboard Music Awards speech is an audio of RM's speech while receiving their first American award. This divides the album's love songs with the songs with stronger social commentary. Mic Drop is the album's follow-up single, which expands their message to the haters they used to give in the cyphers. This is the original version created by BTS, and it doesn't have a music video. They also have another follow-up song titled Go Go, which is the ironic happy song with deep lyrics from this album. Go Go is a pop colorful song with a sarcastic message about this generation's careless spending as a result from the mistakes from past generations. versions. The album's outro is Her, an alternative hip-hop song by the rap line which reflects the discoveries of looking for someone to fall in love with. But instead of finding love, they discovered a new version of themselves. This is the end of the digital version of the album, but the physical CDs have 2 extra tracks: Skid, Hesitation, Fear, a conversation they had right after winning their first Billboard Music Award, and C, an alternative hip-hop song which uses the sea as a metaphor for their road to success, full of hardships and disadvantages. As a single, BTS re-releases a remix version of Mic Drop, produced by the American DJ Steve Aoki and featuring the American rapper Designer. Some of BTS's lyrics were re-recorded in English, and this was the version promoted to American radio stations. This version charted on the Hot 100 at number 28. For Japan, they released Japanese versions of Mic Drop, DNA, and a new Japanese pop ballad titled Crystal Snow, which follows the romance theme of Love Yourself, Her, and tells the story of a relationship affected by time moving too fast. BTS then releases 2 commercials: Coconut Chicken Song for the BBQ brand and With Soul for the Visit Soul campaign. About their solo projects, JHope releases his first solo mixtape, Hope World, in which he explores his identity as regular guy Jungkook and worldwide star JHope, who represents hope. The entire album is alternative hip-hop with poppy, bubbly elements and visuals that paint the hopeful world JHope talks about. Hope World serves as an introduction to the album's theme. In Piece of Peace, JHope explains how he identifies himself with his name. The title track is Daydream, which describes JHope's world as a fictional scenario, part of a dream. In Baseline, JHope explains his street dancing beginnings, and Hansang is his gratitude to the BTS members. Airplane is the mixtape's second single, in which JHope talks about his constant airplane flights and uses it as a symbol for his success. The outro is Blue Side Outro, which is different from Blue Side that he will release 3 years after this one. Blue Side Outro shows the scenery JHope painted in Hope World. This story will be continued in JHope's second solo project. Going back to the Love Yourself trilogy, BTS releases the Japanese studio album Face Yourself. Intro Ring Wan Derun is an electro house instrumental which introduces the Japanese versions of Best of Me, Blood, Sweat and Tears, DNA, Not Today, and Mic Drop. The album's original Japanese song is Don't Leave Me, a genre-bending pop anthem about a complicated relationship, which also serves as a transition from Love Yourself Her's theme of looking for love and Love Yourself Tears' heartbreaking theme. This song also serves as the OST for the Japanese series Signal. This album also compiles the Japanese versions of Go Go, Crystal Snow, and Spring Day. The last 2 tracks are Let Go, a pop ballad with a similar message to Don't Leave Me, and Outro Crack, a continuation to Let Go and the end of the album. Before releasing the second part of the Love Yourself Korean trilogy, they released You're So Beautiful for a lauded duty-free commercial. The second album of the trilogy is the critically acclaimed, universally loved, iconic studio album Love Yourself Tear, which explains the pains and sorrows of heartbreak and separation. This theme is introduced in the album's comeback trailer, Intro Singularity by V, a neo-soul song about a story of love and loss. This story is described in the title track Fake Love, which became BTS's first top 10 Hot 100 song. The Truth Untold is a sentimental ballad by the vocal line and produced by Steve Aoki about the protagonist's heartfelt attempt to conquer fear and self-loathing. The next 4 songs are lo-fi, jazzy songs over a hip-hop beat that uses metaphors to explain the painful theme of the trilogy. 134340 uses Pluto losing its planet status as a metaphor for alienation. Paradise uses a marathon in contrast with a sprint as a metaphor for conserving your energy. Love Maze uses a maze as a metaphor for a complicated love. And Magic Shop describes a fictional beautiful place as a metaphor for the exchange of emotions between BTS and their fans' army. The follow-up song is Airplane Part 2, their first song with Latin pop influences, which works as a continuation of JHope's solo song Airplane, part of his Hope World mixtape. The second follow-up song, Anpanman, is a happy poppy song of the album, but it doesn't have their typical ironic message. Instead, it uses the Japanese cartoon character Anpanman to say that they will try their best to protect others, although they are not superheroes. So What is the EDM track of the album, and it has a comforting message about hardships. The outro is the rap line hip-hop song Tear, which ends the album's theme in a darker reflection on love not being only about happy and lighthearted moments.
Bro, this is so they got 3 #1 albums in 1 year. Are these 3? Bro, this is a lot of albums. I don't understand how they selling this much. Even if it's 20 albums, like, bro, this is a lot of music. Even if they are 5 songs here, these are like 10, 11 tracks. And I get it's outros and interludes, man. This is a lot of music. I've never even seen people put out this many versions of albums. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, the most I've ever seen is like, because I don't really listen to a lot of pop these days with like Ariana Grande and all of them, because I see they got like all of this other stuff. But like typically you don't see those type of albums. Like for me personally, I only see like the regular version, the deluxe, and hold on right quick. Regular. Yeah, I only usually see the regular, the deluxe, and you might see like a special edition deluxe where it's like maybe I don't normally see. I usually just see the deluxe edition, but I have seen editions to where like you get a regular, a deluxe, and you get a super deluxe. The super deluxe might come with like 1 extra track. Like usually, like, or say an album has 13 songs. Usually a deluxe album might have 17 songs, and a super deluxe might have 18 songs with something that you get free by buying the album, something like that. I don't know, but I've never seen 5 and 6 and 7 different versions of one album. That's crazy.
Like it used to be in Her.
And I don't mean like different versions. I mean like even like the Japanese version. I've never seen like, me personally, like with rap, I've never seen someone put out like an American version, a Chinese version, a Japanese version, a Korean version. I've seen some Hispanics, they put out Hispanic albums and put out an English version or English and Hispanic version, but I've never seen like this many out, like 3 albums in 2017, 4 albums in 2018. I just never seen nothing like that before.
First part of the trilogy. Before releasing the last part and conclusion of the Love Yourself trilogy, BTS celebrated Festa by releasing a Spring Day Brit Rock remix, which they performed at a music festival, and Then, the most beloved unofficial song by the rap line. Then has the typical themes you will find in BTS's ciphers, but the lyrics are way more advanced and the beats have a traditional Korean sound. The last part of the Love Yourself Korean trilogy is Love Yourself Answer, a compilation album with 2 CDs. The first CD is introduced by Jungkook's solo song Euphoria, which talks about happiness, new beginnings, and discoveries about oneself. These themes are also present in JHope's solo song Trivia Just Dance. This compilation album's new songs include a new full version of Serendipity by Jimin, a new hip-hop track with jazzy sounds about love and humanity titled Trivia Love by RM, a funky pop song by Suga titled Trivia Seesaw, in which he uses a seesaw as a metaphor for the inevitable ups and downs of life, Epiphany, a solo song by Jin that serves as the album's comeback trailer and tells the conclusion of the trilogy, a literal epiphany about accepting oneself in order to truly experience love. I'm Fine is the follow-up song which samples and works as a response to Save Me, part of the most beautiful moment in life beyond forever. The title track is Idol, a song with classical Korean instruments layered with African beats, which represents the ultimate celebration of self-acceptance and identity. The last song, Answer Love Myself, resolves the struggles expressed in the previous songs from Love Yourself tier. The second CD compiles more songs from the trilogy and has rock versions of DNA and Fake Love, Steve Aoki's remix of Mic Drop Without Designer that was part of the Mic Drop music video, and a new version of Idol which also has a music video. This collaboration with Nicki Minaj charted at number 11 on the Hot 100. Additionally, Suga released a remix of Seesaw and I Need You on SoundCloud, and RM releases his second solo mixtape, Mono. This project is completely different to his first solo mixtape that had aggressive, fast-paced hip-hop songs. Mono, on the other hand, has alternative R&B songs with relaxed instrumentals and introspective lyrics represented in the minimalistic animated music videos. In Tokyo and Seoul, RM explains his insecurities and feelings of loneliness. Moonchild has a
That
comforting
sound
message to
good.
feeling like an outcast. Bad Bye is sorrowful. All Good is pensive. Everything Goes is uplifting and hopeful. And the title track Forever Rain talks about depression and the fear of change.
Alright, man, hold on. I'm gonna have to go check out that Tokyo song. Let me hear that again. That actually sounded kind of fire.
This project is completely different to his first solo mixtape that had aggressive, fast-paced hip-hop songs. Mono, on the other hand, has alternative R&B songs with relaxed instrumentals and introspective lyrics represented in the minimalistic animated music videos. In Tokyo and Seoul, RM explains his insecurities and feelings of loneliness. Moonchild has a comforting message to feeling like an outcast. Bad Bye is sorrowful. All Good is pensive. Everything Goes is uplifting and hopeful. And the title track Forever Rain talks about depression and the fear of change. BTS's third collaboration with Stevie Aoki is Wasted on Me, a future-based dance-pop love song produced by Stevie Aoki and interpreted by RM, Jimin, and Jungkook. To promote this song, Stevie Aoki releases remixes by the DJs and producers Slushy, Cheat Codes, and W&W. But it was the original version which charted at number 89 on the Billboard Hot 100. The last project part of the Love Yourself trilogy is a Japanese single album with Japanese versions of Fake Love, Airplane Part 2, which has a music video, the Stadium remix of Idol, part of the physical CD only, and an alternative Japanese version of Fake Love. This is the official end of the Love Yourself trilogy. Before starting a new era, BTS enters the mini solo songs era. RM features in Drunken Tiger's hip-hop song Timeless, Jimin releases the acoustic pop song Promise, Suga composes and features in Isura's ballad song Request, V releases the acoustic ballad Scenery, and RM is a featured artist in Honey's Crying Over You featuring Becca. In 2019, BTS enters their Map of the Soul era based on Jungkook's psychology. The first album of this era is the EP Map of the Soul Persona, which explores the personality one projects to others. This theme is introduced in the concept trailer by RM's colorful hip-hop solo song Intro Persona. The album's title track is the funky pop song Boy With Love, featuring the American singer Halsey, which explores happiness, love, and one's own persona. Boy With Love is also a response to BTS's 2014 song Boy In Love, part of the School trilogy. Boy With Love charted at number 8 on the Hot 100. Microcosmos and Home are pop songs dedicated to their fans, and Make It Right is produced by the English singer Ed Sheeran about the desire to improve relationships and the world. Jamais-Vu is a song interpreted by Jin, JHope, and Jungkook, which explains the psychological phenomenon opposite of a déjà vu. The EP's conclusion is the follow-up promoted song Dionysus or Dionysus, which uses the Greek god of wine as a representation for the persona concept. This song became part of BTS's most iconic live performances and choreographies. As a solo project, Jin releases the ballad Tonight, and BTS releases their mobile game BTS World, and an original soundtrack album for this game with the song and music video Heartbeat, and the collaborations Dream Glow by Jin, Jimin, and Jungkook featuring the English singer Charlie XCX, A Brand New Day by JHope and V featuring the Swedish singer Sarah Larsson, and All Night by RM and Suga featuring the American rapper Juice WRLD. For Festa, Jungkook releases a remix of his solo song Euphoria, and part of the Japanese Map of the Soul era, BTS releases the music video for the original Japanese ballad Lights, part of the EP with the Japanese versions of Boy With Love and Idol. Then we have more solo songs. RM features in Lil Nas X remix of Old Town Road titled Soul Town Road. V releases the ballad Winter Bear along with a music video, and JHope releases an adaptation of Chicken Noodle Soup featuring the American singer Becky G. This is BTS's first trilingual song with Korean, English, and Spanish lyrics. Going back to the Map of the Soul promotions, BTS releases the alternative version of Make It Right featuring the American singer Love with a music video. To promote this collaboration, they also released an EDM remix remix and an acoustic remix, but it was the original collaboration that charted at number 76 on the Billboard Hot 100. Additionally, Suga participates in Halsey's album In Suga's Interlude. The last official part of the Korean Map of the Soul era is the studio album Map of the Soul 7, released at the beginning of 2020. It's really unfortunate that this is probably BTS's biggest project ever, but the promotions were cut short because of the pandemic. This is still a legendary album that shows BTS's experience of being in the music industry for 7 years. Despite everything, it was 2020, the year when BTS started charting almost all of their songs on the Billboard Hot 100. This album shows a story in 3 parts: Persona, Shadow, and Ego. The album's comeback trailer uses the intense hip-hop song Interlude Shadow by Suga to show one's own fears, darkness, and shadows. These themes are also represented in Black Swan, BTS's first pre-release single ever. They released an art film performed by NN Dance Company and started promoting this song as a single before releasing the album or the official music video. Despite releasing this song on its own, Black Swan charted at number 57 on the Hot 100. The solo songs include the Latin pop song Filter by Jimin, while showing 2 sides of oneself, and the R&B song My Time by Jungkook, about growing up and how fast time passes. Both of these songs charted on the Hot 100 at number 87 and 84 respectively. The alternative R&B Louder Than Bombs and the powerful lead single On, which is musically inspired by marching band music, talk about BTS's fighting and hardworking mindset as artists and people. On became BTS's highest charting song at the time by debuting at number 4 on the Hot 100.
Oh, the Kinetic Manifesto.
The next 2 songs show 2 opposites. Ah or Ugh by the rap line is an aggressive hip-hop song about the world's anger and malicious actions. And 0 O'Clock by the vocal line is an alternative R&B song about staying happy and taking every day as a fresh start. Entering the Ego section of the Map of the Soul concept, we have Inner Child, a solo song by V about the story of reflection to his inner self. Friends by Jimin and V about the story of their friendship over the years. Moon, a solo song by Jin in which he uses the moon and the earth as metaphors for BTS and ARMY. And Respect, a song by RM and Suga about disrespect and hypocrisy. A conclusion to We Are Bulletproof Part 1 and We Are Bulletproof Part 2 is We Are Bulletproof The Eternal, an emotional song opposite to the first 2 parts, which shows BTS's gratitude to their fans for letting them be a group for 7 years. This story is shown in an animated music video. The album's outro is Ego by JHope, a retro hip-hop song with Afro beats about the Jungian concept of ego, the central part of one's consciousness that one is most aware of. This is the happy celebratory conclusion of the album. The last song is an alternative version of On featuring the Australian singer Sia, only part of the digital version of the album. Next, we have the solo projects released during the pandemic. RM featured in a powerful ballad Winter Flower by Yuna. Jimin and Jungkook featured in Love's pop song Who. V releases Sweet Night for the Korean drama Itaewon Class. And Suga featured and produced IU's pop rock song 8, which won awards for Best K-pop Song, Best Rock Song, Best Collaboration, and Song of the Year at multiple South Korean award shows. Suga also released his second solo mixtape as August D, titled D2, in which he shares his viewpoint on the contemporary world and the questions he has about society. The title track is Dechuita, which uses the sound of traditional Korean military music. This mixtape has collaborations with RM, the Korean singer Nihwa, the American singer Max, and the Korean singer Kim Jong-won. As part of the 2020 Festa, Jungkook released the jazzy R&B Still With You. And as the last project part of the Map of the Soul era, BTS released the Japanese studio album Map of the Soul 7, The Journey, with the new tracks Intro Calling, Outro The Journey, and the singles Stay Go and Your Eyes Tell. These new songs have their characteristic sound from their Japanese discography. The next era is the trilogy of English songs. BTS's songs meant to uplift everybody during the pandemic. To reach bigger audiences, they released these 3 songs in English. The first one is the record-breaking disco pop song Dynamite, which became BTS's first song to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. To promote this song, BTS released 2 EPs with alternative versions. The first EP was the summer-themed daytime version with an EDM remix, a tropical remix, and a poolside remix. After this, BTS released the best original song for a commercial the world will ever see, Ionic, I'm On It for Hyundai. Then, Max and Suga released the pop single Duberias. To promote this single, Max released new versions with music videos with Stevie Aoki and another version with the American rapper Lil Mosey and the American singer Olivia O'Brien. Next, BTS releases a nighttime version EP for Dynamite with a slow jam remix, a midnight remix, a retro remix, and a bedroom remix. Additionally, they released a music video for a 70s remix of Dynamite. Additionally, they released a music video for a 70s remix of Dynamite. I really recommend. Then, Max and Suga released the pop single Duberias. To promote this single, Max released new versions with music videos with Stevie Aoki and another version with the American rapper Lil Mosey and the American singer Olivia O'Brien. Next, BTS releases a nighttime version EP for Dynamite with a slow jam.
Instrumental, slow jam remix, midnight remix, retro remix, bedroom remix. God damn.
Remix, a midnight remix, a retro remix, and a bedroom remix. Additionally, they released a music video for a 70s remix of Dynamite. I really recommend listening to these versions because BTS performed these alternative versions in different TV shows and award shows, and the stages show their range as performers. BTS's next single is a collaboration between Josh 685, Jason Derulo, and BTS titled Savage Love. This version with BTS reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it the first song with Korean lyrics to top this chart. Because of the pandemic, BTS started a reality series titled BTS in the Soup, with In the Soup as the original soundtrack. This time also gave them the opportunity to work on their next studio album, B, a project directed by Jimin in which they expressed their frustrations and feelings about the pandemic. This album had all of its songs chart simultaneously on the Billboard Hot 100. The title track, Life Goes On, became the first full song in Korean to reach number 1 on the Hot 100. The music video was directed by Jungkook. The pop neo-soul Fly to My Room by Suga, JHope, Jimin, and V charted at number 69. The soft ballad Blue and Grey charted at number 13. This skit is a conversation with the members' first thoughts after getting their first number 1 song, Dynamite. The happy pop song Telepathy charted at number 70. The old-school hip-hop Disease charted at number 72. And the EDM pop song Stay by RM, Jin, and Jungkook charted at number 22. Dynamite stayed at number 1 for 3 weeks and stayed on the Hot 100 for 32 weeks. As Christmas time began, Jin released the acoustic ballad Abyss, BTS released a holiday remix of Dynamite, Jimin released his solo Christmas song Christmas Love, and V released his solo Christmas song Snowflower featuring the Korean singer Big Boy. At the beginning of 2021, the vocal line sang a cover of the song Jungle for a Coca-Cola commercial, and JHope released the full version of Outro Blue Side, this time titled simply Blue Side. As BTS gets closer to the end of Chapter 1, they release anthology albums which compile their most iconic songs over the years, which are not only successful but also tell their story in the music industry. But before BTS released their Korean anthology album, they released the compilation album BTS The Best, which officially wraps out their Japanese discography in 2 CDs. The first song of the first CD, which also worked as a pre-release single, is Film Out, their first Japanese song ever to enter the Hot 100 at number 81. The rest of the first CD, as well as the second CD, compiles their most iconic songs in Japan. Going back to their Korean discography, RM features In Don't by Eon. This is the second out of the 3 collaborations between them. The third one is part of Chapter 2. The second single part of the trilogy of English songs is the summer song Butter, which stayed at number 1 on the Hot 100 for 7 weeks. The Butter EP has a house bass remix, which has a music video, an electro pop remix, a dance pop remix, which also has a music video, and an instrumental track. For Festa, RM released Bicycle, and BTS performed new versions of their songs on their anniversary concert Master. These songs are a Korean version of their Japanese song Wishing on a Star, and a live EDM remix of Not Today. The third project part of the trilogy of English songs is Permission to Dance, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Permission to Dance was initially released in a single album with Butter, but it was also part of the single album Permission to Dance that comes with an R&B remix. Since they were technically promoting both Butter and Permission to Dance together, they released a remix of Butter featuring the American rapper Megan Thee Stallion. The previous year, BTS partnered with Samsung to promote their Galaxy phones. BTS were part of commercials using Dynamite and Butter, and even released their own BTS edition Samsung Galaxy phones and earbuds. Additionally, Suga produced an alternative version of the classical ringtone Over the Horizon. You can use Suga's 2021 and 2022 ringtones in Galaxy phones. BTS's next big single was a collaboration with the British band Coldplay, titled My Universe. With verses in Korean and English, BTS and Coldplay debuted at number 1 on the Hot 100 and stayed on the chart for 17 weeks. To promote the song, they released Supernova 7 Mix, the instrumental, an acoustic version, a tropical remix by Suga, a remix by the Swedish duo Galantis, and a remix by the French DJ David Guetta. For the TV drama Jirisan, Jin released the sentimental ballad Yours. To officially end the promotion of Butter, they released a holiday remix of Butter. This is the last project part of the trilogy of English songs. Then we enter a small era of solo projects. Jin releases the fan song Super Tuna about his love for fishing. Suga participates on Juice WRLD's second posthumous album by featuring in the song Girl of My Dreams. And V releases the ballad Christmas Tree for the soundtrack of the Korean drama Our Beloved Summer. In 2022, Jungkook releases Stay Alive, produced by Suga, with a music video by the 7 BTS members for their webtoon 7 Faiths Chakho. Jimin releases With You with the Korean singer Ha Sung-woon for the K-drama Our Blues. And Suga produces and features in That by the Korean singer Psy. The last project part of Chapter 1 is the anthology BTS album Proof. This album compiles the most important songs of BTS's career in 3 CDs. Their first CD has their 19 most significant singles. The first song is the unofficial adaptation of Born Singer, which they released on SoundCloud on 2013. But this time, they bought the rights to use the sample from JHope and officially release it as a BTS song. The other singles are No More Dream, N.O., Boy in Love, Danger, I Need You, Run, Fire, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Spring Day, DNA, Fake Love, Idol, Boy with Love, On, Dynamite, Life Goes On, Butter, and the new single Yet to Come, in which they thank their fans for all the years of support and promise to bring even better music in their next chapter as BTS. The second CD compiles the 15 most representative solo and subunit songs. The first song is a new song by the 7 members titled Run BTS, a reference to their Variety web series. The other songs are RM's Persona, Stay, Jin's Moon, Jamais-Vu, Suga's Seesaw, the rap lines Cypher 3, JHope's Ego, the rap lines Her, Jimmy's Filter, Friends, V's Singularity, the vocal lines 0 O'Clock, Jungkook's Euphoria, and the vocal lines Dimple. The third and last CD of Proof has 14 songs. 13 of them are only available on the physical CD. This third CD compiles demo versions, songs that were never released, such as Young Love and Quotation Mark, an instrumental version, an a cappella version, and the new song For Youth. This is the only song from the third CD which you can listen to on the streaming platforms. This is the official end of BTS's Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is still ongoing and it has solo songs, solo albums, subunit songs, and songs with the 7 members. So let me know in the comment section if you learned anything new today and what is your favorite BTS era.
Yo, man. Whew. I'm not going to even hold y'all. That's draining. Whew. I barely made it through that. Man, that's just chapter 1. There's more music. And I saw like 8 or 9 more albums. Creativity. I'm gonna make this short and simple, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you can't mimic and why you gotta do your own thing. Creativity. Individuality. Remember those 2 words, creativity and individuality. You have to be an individual within a group, but you have to be creative. You have to keep the fans fresh. You have to tell your own story. You have to tell it in a way you know how to tell it. You have to be open in your lyrics. You have to talk about real life stuff. You could talk about dancing and partying, but you can only do that so long. You can talk about drugs and sex and alcohol, but you can only do that so long. You have to have real life meanings, real things in your life that you can correlate to the fans, real emotions, real relationships, real friendships. You have to have these type of things to put in the music to keep the average fan enjoying. I'm glad they did that. I'm gonna get more into the discography. I'll probably get into part 2 more when they get out. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this was draining. It was a lot of knowledge to know. I learned a lot. I got a lot of albums to dig into. I got a lot of lyrics to decipher. I got a lot of lyrics to translate into English, some already translated. But overall, this was a 10 out of 10 video. I would recommend this video when you really want to get into any artist's music, because most artists, they're not going to care this much enough to even put this much work out. But I probably won't get into the Japanese versions only because there's no point. I don't speak Japanese and I don't really, it's the same thing, just translated in Japanese. So, but I got a lot of music to get into. So you guys tell me in the comments, what do you think about the BTS discography? I think this is one of the best discographies in the world. I think it's one of the most deepest and meaningful discographies based on what she's just said, based on the different emotions, the different eras, the different trials and tribulations they went through, and just the different beats and just the different eras of music they went to. The first thing I'm gonna decipher, I'm gonna get into that Wings era. I promise you that. The Wings era coming soon. You guys tell me what you think about this video. What do you think about all of this? What's your favorite BTS album? What's your favorite BTS song? Matter of fact, what's your favorite BTS Boracity video? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Always and always with love. And thank you for the support from everybody. With love, peace.